What kind of existence is higher dimensional space? Take the four-dimensional space as an example, but please note that the fourth dimension here is not the temporal dimension we commonly understand in daily life. Many people often mistakenly believe that time is the fourth dimension when they first encounter the concept of higher dimensional space, but that is not the case. Firstly, it should be clarified that since it is called four-dimensional space, it is obviously different from the abstract concept of time. Moreover, according to M-theory, the universe actually contains 11 dimensions. If time were the fourth dimension, how would we define the subsequent fifth and sixth dimensions? We can deduce this based on simple mathematical and physical rules. A one-dimensional space is a straight line composed of countless zero-dimensional points. A two-dimensional space is a plane composed of countless one-dimensional lines, and a three-dimensional space is the world we are familiar with, composed of length, width, and height, formed by countless two-dimensional planes. Similarly, four-dimensional space can be seen as countless three-dimensional spaces stacked in the fourth dimension. Although we, as three-dimensional beings, cannot directly see the full picture of four-dimensional space, we can perceive its wonders through imagination and reasoning. If there is a creature living in a two-dimensional space, we can imagine that it lives in a painting. No matter how colorful and rich the painting is, it can only see the sides of the surrounding world. In their eyes, people and things around them are just lines of different lengths. Only when it comes out of the two-dimensional world and enters the three-dimensional space, and then looks back at the painting, can it see the full picture. Similarly, as three-dimensional beings, when we perceive the three-dimensional space, the world we see is actually two-dimensional, that is, a plane. All three-dimensional objects are actually presented to us frame by frame as photos. We can only see one side of the object facing us, but cannot see its interior, or the rear blocked by it. In other words, we cannot actually see the full picture of the three-dimensional world, which can only be seen by jumping out of the three-dimensional world and entering the four-dimensional space. After entering the four-dimensional space, we can see everything in the three-dimensional space. The visual information presented in four-dimensional space is unparalleled in the three-dimensional world. In four-dimensional space, three-dimensional objects are exposed at all levels, and everything that was enclosed and obscured in the three-dimensional world is clearly presented. They can see objects inside closed boxes, the flow of liquids in intricate pipelines, and everything is within their sight. When they look at the human body, they can see all the bones, internal organs, and blood. This feeling of seeing every slice of an object is unimaginable for us beings in the three-dimensional world, like having a God's eye view. But what would happen if a person accidentally entered four-dimensional space? Assuming his body can enter four-dimensional space intact, his brain adapted to the three-dimensional space would be overwhelmed by this infinite amount of information. Because our brains are only suited to see two-dimensional images. In four-dimensional space, we would see countless three-dimensional images, and each three-dimensional image is composed of countless two-dimensional ones, equivalent to an infinite multiplication of the amount of information entering the brain. This would cause his brain to completely collapse. There is a fascinating theory about four-dimensional space. Physicists speculate that all dimensions exhibit slight curvature. This curvature causes one-dimensional space to gradually bend and close into a circle as it extends far away, forming two-dimensional space. Similarly, two-dimensional space will gradually bend and close into a sphere during infinite extension, thereby constituting three-dimensional space. By analogy, the three-dimensional space we inhabit is actually enclosed by a four-dimensional space, and the four-dimensional space is contained within a five-dimensional space, and such spatial structures may nest and cycle infinitely. This description is not only imaginative but also reveals physicists' in-depth thoughts and explorations of spatial structures. Although these theories are still at the hypothetical stage, they provide valuable perspectives and ideas for us to understand the mysteries of the universe. Lastly, there is a chilling conjecture. Could it be that our universe currently cannot see more advanced aliens because the more advanced civilizations can access higher dimensions, observe us, but we can never perceive their existence? They could even modify all our mathematical and physical laws. Unless we can also develop into a civilization capable of breaking through the limitations of three-dimensional space. But considering their existence in four-dimensional or even higher dimensions, would they allow ant-like three-dimensional beings to advance smoothly? This chilling conjecture undoubtedly adds a mysterious hue to our understanding of the universe. It makes us ponder whether those advanced civilizations that may exist in higher dimensions are scrutinizing us in a way we cannot detect. Their wisdom and abilities may have surpassed all our understanding of the universe. However, just as we face various challenges and unknowns, might civilizations that can enter the fourth dimension also face challenges in breaking through the fifth dimension? Is there a godlike civilization that can travel freely through all dimensions? Furthermore, those who have read this far should all know that our universe is accelerating in its expansion, and the mysterious force accelerating the expansion of our universe is dark energy. Dark energy can be said to be the most mysterious concept, about which our current scientists know nothing. Could this dark energy be the mysterious force leaked from higher dimensional spaces affecting lower dimensional spaces? Imagine that if ants are two-dimensional beings crawling on a two-dimensional sheet of paper, and we approach this ant from a three-dimensional space with a torch, the ant would feel suddenly warmer but have no idea why it's suddenly warmer and cannot see the torch in the three-dimensional space. Civilizations in higher dimensional spaces may be silently guarding the order and balance of this universe in ways beyond our imagination. For us, three-dimensional beings, breaking through the existing spatial constraints and moving towards higher dimensions undoubtedly requires tremendous effort and wisdom. But regardless of the outcome, this conjecture inspires us to keep exploring and moving forward, seeking the truths and mysteries hidden deep in the universe. On the future path of exploration, we may encounter unimaginable difficulties and challenges, but as long as we maintain curiosity and awe towards the unknown, and strive and pursue constantly, we will surely gradually unveil the mysteries of the universe and reveal the secrets hidden in higher dimensions. In this process, we will also continue to transcend ourselves and become wiser and more civilized beings.